So how long have you guys been here?
2019 is when we bought the house, June 2019.
June. Okay.
Because it was right before COVID, because we started to meet everybody, and then everybody disappeared.
But I'm sure you met all the neighbors since then.
Oh yeah, we met on the first week. The two boys here had met one of the neighbors, and he gave them a toad, and
gave them a toad?
Yeah, a toad from the garden, and they were so excited. And then the next day they went down, it was Monday, they went down to see if Mr. Olson was still down there, to see if he had any more toads, and they went in the back door and set the alarm off, and the police came. Everyone was in a panic, and I was like, so then a police officer knocked on the door asking if my two children were here. And I was like, hey, nothing like moving into a new neighborhood and really bringing attention to ourselves. But it was completely innocent, and the police officer he came in and talked to him, and ironically we had a toad on the kitchen table, which distracted him. If you remember, we probably saw like 22 houses with you before, because we had our previous home, which was supposed to be our forever home. Bob and I had went looking, that was, 2009? And we saw so many houses with you. We were just, but this one on Pennington, it just was up on a hill, and it was perfect. And it was everything we wanted. It was just a dream come true. The house needed work, but we knew we were going to do it. The house had
a bat in the dining room.
Yes, it did. And we still have that stuffed animal bat puppet around here.
It creeps me out.
It creeps you out? Yeah, well, imagine going in and there being a bat right in the curtains.
And your parents locked me in the dining room with the bat for a minute.
No.
We would
I
never
know where you guys
do
get
that.
Your pranks from.
But we were doing everything that we thought we needed to do for it to be a forever home. And then we had autumn, and then things kind of slowed down. And then when we had the boys, all the house projects completely stopped. And then we didn't know that Cooper was going to be in a wheelchair. So we knew we were having triplets, but it wasn't until, I guess it was 2018, he got his first wheelchair, and it didn't fit in the kitchen. We literally built the kitchen ourselves. Like, him and my dad redid everything to what I wanted, and we put an oversized island in and everything. And then it was like, if we knew ahead of time, like, we wouldn't have done that. We had 3 contractors come out, and we were like, what can we do to make this more handicap accessible? Like, because he was living in the living room. We didn't have a bedroom on the first floor. And the one guy came in, he said it would $50,000 to $75,000 just to add on a bedroom for him. And that still didn't give him access to the rest of the house. So I looked at him and I was like, it's cheaper to move. And he's like, we're not moving. So I'm like painting and this and that, and then I text you, I'm like, hey, remember me? And I remember you being like, sure, okay, like, I'll come out, and that kind of got the ball going. And then we just started looking at other homes, and we were having such a hard time, because now we had measurements on what we needed for him. We needed more stipulation, like the house couldn't be on a hill. The house couldn't, what else was there? There had to have access to like certain things for a handicapped bathroom on the first floor. We had to have a big enough room for him to be able to live and have a bedroom on the first floor. So I remember seeing that one house, which was right down the street, and I was like, it has 5 bedrooms, it's perfect. And it came down to front door, it was 2 inches too small because he brought his tape measure everywhere, and he's like, we can't buy this house. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, 2 inches, and that was when you were like, do you want to go see the house down the street? It's not actually for sale. And I was like, not today, Shannon, because everything was just so like you were so
discouraging.
Yeah. And then the one day all the kids had off, and you were like, do you want to go see that house? And I was like, all right. And it was the only house that all of us went to. And I remember walking through the front door, and I just started crying. And I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was insane. It wasn't staged at all. Like, I remember there being a pair of jeans hanging on a chair, you know, pictures were up of family members and stuff. Not like these homes that you typically see that are on the market.
Right.
It was just, you know, use your imagination. Like, can you see yourself here? And it was just, we had wide enough doorways. The front room he used as an office, and I'm like, this is going to be Cooper's room. And sure enough, it worked out. Like, insane how it was a letter you had put in the mailbox.
Yeah, these owners contacted their agent because they were planning on selling in a year.
Okay.
But they said, hey, if somebody wants it now, we'll rent somewhere for a year.
So it worked out. I love this house. I love everything about it. I love the view in the backyard. The neighborhood is so safe. The kids are out playing all the time. It's nice and flat. He can use his medical equipment to, like his walker, he can walk down. There's no, like, fear that he's going to get hurt, or like there's no hill that he'll like glide down. Like, we had a scare at Pennington because he did his brakes and he started going down the driveway, which was a little slope. But the rocks stopped. So it's like stuff like that not every family has to look into when they're buying a home. And I really didn't think that we were going to ever find a house. At one point, you just kind of like, here, okay, you know, not this one. And then with the timing, if we didn't buy when we did, there's no way we would have been able to keep up with the craziness that happened in 2020 and 2021, like the housing markets. So to me, I feel like this was definitely a blessing. One of those things where things happen for a reason, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm the HOA president.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks to that guy over there. And he's like, oh, it'll be easy. And it was. You start January. It was January 5th. I'm getting a phone call, and I'm like, oh my gosh, something about sewer tie-in. I'm like looking up what easements are, and I'm like, Bob, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, I don't know what any of this stuff is, but yeah, that was a fun little surprise.